Some people think our host came into existence through ancient magic. Others reckon Oliver was created using unholy science that man wasn't meant to tamper with. Those people better get ready to have their bubbles burst.
Sometimes a man hits a milestone in his life and pauses to reflect. Other men hit multiple milestones at once without even breaking their stride, and it's up to those following in their wake to do the reflecting. Well, never mind your major world events or your great Aunt Sally's vajazzling. 2010 will go down as the year a man named Eric Brackenbury won a staring contest with infinity. Yes, in this week's episode, I'll be reviewing my friggin' dad. Yes, this year my dad celebrates 65 years of refusing to trim his beard to a reasonable length, 40 years of being married to my long-suffering mother, and 50 years of being a goldsmith. What have you been doing with your time? For that matter, what have I been doing with my time?
Quit jacking off in there!
No! I'll probably have a really healthy prostate by the time I'm his age. My dad is also known for seriously being into kites, something he picked up a little over 30 years ago. Now, you might think that means this? No. It means big old kites like these. He'll also strap a kite to skis, buggies, and boards, so he can whip across frozen rivers, scorching deserts, and tasty waves at upwards of 60 kilometers an hour. Only time will tell what my dad will attach a kite to next. He's also been a great source of anecdotes for yours truly. For example, so when I was about 8 years old, all the other 8-year-old boys and I on my street got together, bought about $3 or $4 worth of nails, and stole, frankly, a bunch of lumber, and we spent the summer building a treehouse in every single one of our backyards. About once every few days for several weeks, we'd all get together in the back of one of our backyards and just swing those hammers around, and nails and boards and boys and nails and hammers. Our mothers also took turns having a series of little heart attacks while watching us run around with all these hammers and boards and nails and so on. Anyways, it was my favorite treehouse in the world, and I hid comic books and eventually pornography and a whole bunch of other things in there over the years. But one day, I'm 16 years old, and my dad tells me that the tree that the treehouse is on is rotten, and we need to get rid of it. But Dad, it's my treehouse! I of course whined at him, even though I hadn't used it in at least like 3 or 4 years. My dad says, look, Oliver, seriously, it's rotten. And I go, but Dad, I love it! And I go up in the treehouse, and I put my foot right through one of the boards in the floor. But of course, I keep whining, like, come on, Dad, I like my treehouse, that board, it was just that one board that was rotten, not the whole thing. And my dad goes, right, here's your tree fort. And he goes, pushes the whole thing, tree goes over, tree fort hits the ground, explodes, splinters everywhere, I'm standing there stunned, and he dusts his hands off before walking inside saying, oh, dinner's ready. You can clean that up later. Yeah. Did I mention that all those years of wrestling with powerful kites and high winds has given my dad more upper body strength than most guys in their 20s? So yeah, my dad probably could beat up your dad. But he wouldn't do that, not only because he's really nice, but because frankly he'd be too busy tooling around with one of his 3 motorcycles. Now, that may sound like a midlife crisis, but I assure you my dad has had various motorcycles in various states of repair ever since he was a teenager. So yes, my mum met and married a biker. An English biker though, you have to understand, they're a bit different. While he did teach me the very father-son style lesson of how to shave, I'll always be grateful to my dad for never having sat me down for the talk. Yes, he actually had enough faith that I would be able to figure out how, the super mega complex act of human intercourse happens without being sat down for an incredibly awkward conversation that would basically just remind me that I'm the product of my father having had at least one orgasm during the 1980s. How many orgasms did you have during the 1980s? No. Is this review coming out in favor of my father? Yes, I think we'll keep him. Am I a little biased? Yes. But who owns this web show? Well, technically it's the Chinese, but they don't care what I do with it so long as they can put my face on merchandise. Oof. I'm not real proud of that one.
Tired of the same old day-in, day-out routine? Liven up your life with Eric and Oliver Brackenbury's Debates on Demand. They'll come straight to your house and argue for hours about VCR programming and how to wipe your shoes when you come in the door. Enjoy a lovely cup of tea as you share exasperated looks with Mrs. Brackenbury while the boys have it out. Brackenbury's Debates on Demand. It's like 2 episodes of Handful of Minutes at once, in British accents, forever.
Meanwhile, other men hit multiple milestones at the same time without even breaking stride, and it's up to those people in their wake to fuck up the line. They do a really good job. 2010 will go down as the year a man named Eric Brackenbury won a scaring contest with infinity. So scary. Fuck. He's also been a great source of examples. Yeah, did I mention all those years of wrestling with fucking kites? Fuck 'em. Fucking kites.